You walk into a room full of people, and yet you feel completely alone. They're laughing, connecting, living in a world that feels foreign to you. You smile, you nod, but inside there's a hollow echo that whispers, "You don't belong here." And you're right, you don't. Because while they're living in the shallows, you were built for the depths. While they're content with the surface, you were marked for the mystery. This isn't depression, this isn't social anxiety, this is divine isolation. And if you felt this your entire life, then everything you're about to hear will finally make sense. That crushing loneliness you feel isn't a punishment, it's a sign. The universe doesn't isolate its forgotten ones, it separates its chosen ones. You were never meant to fit into spaces that weren't built for your frequency. Your solitude isn't random, it's sacred. It's the fingerprint of a soul that's been set apart for something the ordinary mind cannot comprehend. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to reveal will shatter every lie you've believed about why you feel different. The truth is, you were never supposed to blend in. From the moment your soul entered this realm, you carried a frequency that disrupts the ordinary. And that frequency, that spiritual signature, creates a barrier between you and the crowd that no amount of effort can dissolve. You've tried, haven't you? You've molded yourself, dimmed your light, softened your truth, all to feel less alone. But it never works. Because the loneliness you feel isn't coming from a lack of people. It's coming from a lack of resonance, your instrument tuned to a celestial pitch, and everyone around you is playing a different song entirely. This isolation you feel is not a flaw in your design, it is the design. And once you understand why the divine placed this mark upon you, you'll stop seeking acceptance from those who were never meant to understand you in the first place. Number 1. Your loneliness is a spiritual assignment. Your isolation is not accidental, it's strategic. The divine doesn't separate you from the crowd to punish you, it separates you to prepare you. Every prophet, every mystic, every soul that ever changed the trajectory of humanity spent years in the wilderness first. Not because they were abandoned, but because they were being refined. You think you're lonely because something is wrong with you. The truth is, you're lonely because something is profoundly right with you. You carry a mission that requires a level of inner strength the crowd will never need. They can lean on each other, find comfort in groupthink, disappear into collective identity. But you were chosen to stand alone, to think independently, to see clearly when everyone else is blind. This loneliness is your training ground. Every moment you spend in solitude, every night you wrestle with the silence, every time you feel invisible in a room full of faces, you're being fortified. Your spirit is being tempered like steel in fire. The divine is stripping away your need for external validation, because the work you're being prepared for will require you to stand firm when the entire world is against you. The crowd seeks comfort. You were given a cross. And that cross, that weight of separation, is what will ultimately make you unshakable. Number 2, you operate on a different frequency. You don't connect with most people because you're not supposed to. Your soul vibrates at a frequency that only specific souls can perceive. This is why small talk drains you. This is why surface-level relationships feel hollow. This is why you can be surrounded by dozens of people and still feel utterly alone. You're searching for depth in a world obsessed with distraction. You're seeking meaning in a society built on meaninglessness. And when you try to engage at their level, it's like trying to breathe underwater. It's suffocating. It's exhausting, because you're forcing yourself into a space your spirit was never designed to occupy. The divine didn't create you to connect with everyone. It created you to connect with the chosen few. Those rare souls who speak your language, who see what you see, who understand the unspoken truths that live in the space between words. These connections are rare, but they're real, and they're worth more than 1,000 shallow friendships. Your loneliness is not a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that you're selective. Your energy is too precious to waste on connections that don't feed your soul. The divine has built a filter into your very being, and it will not allow you to settle for anything less than authentic, deep, spiritually aligned relationships. Stop trying to lower your frequency to match the crowd. The right souls will rise to meet you. Number 3, you're being protected from contamination. Your isolation is a form of divine protection. The crowd is infected with fear, programmed with limitations, saturated with beliefs that keep them small, and if you had been allowed to fully integrate into their world, you would have absorbed their poison. You felt it before, haven't you? When you spend too much time around certain people, you feel drained, heavy, confused, like their energy is pulling you down into a fog. That's not coincidence, that's contamination. And the divine has placed an energetic shield around you to keep their frequency from diluting yours. The loneliness you feel is the price of purity. You are not meant to be influenced by the masses. You are not meant to adopt their fears, their doubts, their limited vision of what's possible. You are meant to stay clean, clear, uncorrupted by the narratives that keep everyone else trapped. This is why you've always felt like an outsider. Because you are one. You are outside the matrix of collective programming. You are outside the matrix of collective programming. You're outside the system of control. You're outside the reach of the forces that keep everyone else asleep. And yes, it's lonely out here, but it's also sacred, because your clarity, your vision, your untainted perspective, these are the very things that will allow you to be a light in the darkness. You can't illuminate the path if you're lost in the same fog as everyone else. Your separation is your salvation. Number 4, your pain is birthing your purse. Every ounce of loneliness you felt is fuel for the mission you're carrying. The divine doesn't waste pain. It transforms it. And the depth of your isolation is directly proportional to the depth of your purpose. You were not given a shallow calling. You were not assigned a comfortable mission. You were chosen for something that requires the kind of strength that only comes from surviving the dark night of the soul. And that's exactly what your loneliness is, a crucible that's burning away everything weak, everything false, everything that won't serve the monumental work you're here to do. Think about it. The most powerful voices in history were forged in solitude. The greatest leaders emerged from exile. The deepest wisdom comes from those who've sat in the silence long enough to hear the whispers of the divine. Your loneliness is not meaningless suffering. It's meaningful preparation. Every tear you've cried, every night you felt forsaken, every moment you've questioned why you feel so different, all of it is being woven into the fabric of your calling. The divine is using your pain to build your compassion. It's using your isolation to build your independence. It's using your rejection to build your resilience. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. And when the time comes for you to step into your purpose, you'll understand why every moment of loneliness was necessary. Number 5, you're waiting for divine alignment, not human approval. You've been waiting for people to see you, choose you, accept you. But the divine has been blocking those doors on purpose, because the connections you're seeking, the recognition you're craving, the belonging you're desperate for, none of it was meant to come from human hands. You're waiting for a divine alignment that transcends human approval. The divine is orchestrating connections that will blow your mind, opportunities that will defy logic, moments of belonging that will feel like coming home. But none of it can happen while you're still seeking validation from people who were never meant to affirm you. Your loneliness is teaching you to find your worth within. It's teaching you that your value doesn't come from who knows you, who sees you, who validates you. Your value is intrinsic. It's woven into the very fabric of your soul by the hand of the Creator. And when you finally stop seeking external approval, when you finally anchor your identity in the divine rather than in human opinion, that's when everything shifts. That's when the right people appear. That's when the doors open. That's when you stop feeling lonely and start feeling liberated. The crowd couldn't give you what you need even if they tried. What you are seeking exists on a plane they can't access. So stop looking down. Start looking up. Your alignment is coming from heaven, not from earth. Number 6. You are the answer to someone else's loneliness. Here's the final truth that will set you free. Your loneliness is not just about you. It's about the people who are waiting for you. The souls who are praying for someone who understands. The hearts who are desperate for proof that they're not alone in feeling different. You are placed in isolation so that when you emerge, you'll carry a message that resonates with the lost, the broken, the misunderstood. You can't speak to someone's pain unless you've walked through it yourself. You can't guide someone out of darkness unless you've survived it. Your loneliness is making you into a lighthouse. And lighthouses don't exist for the ships that are safely in harbor. They exist for the ones lost in the storm, searching desperately for a sign that land is near. The divine didn't isolate you to keep you hidden forever. It isolated you to prepare you for a reunion, not just with your tribe, but with your purpose. And when you step into that purpose, you'll realize that every lonely moment was worth it, because the souls you're meant to reach needed you to walk through hell first, so you could show them the way out. You were never alone. You were being prepared, and your preparation is almost complete. So stop fighting the loneliness. Stop cursing the isolation. Stop believing the lie that something is wrong with you. You are exactly where you need to be. The divine has separated you from the crowd, because you were never meant to be part of it. You were meant to lead it, to heal it, to wake it up. Your loneliness is temporary, but the strength it's building in you is eternal. The wisdom it's teaching you is priceless. The purpose it's preparing you for is unstoppable. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are chosen. And everything you've endured has been shaping you into the warrior the world needs. So stand tall in your solitude. Own your difference. Honor your journey. Because the same isolation that breaks others is the very thing that's making you unbreakable. You are the chosen one, and your time is coming.